Young Carl Fredricksen, a quiet, bespectacled boy wearing an old pilot's cap and goggles, watches a film reel in a theater about his hero, Charles Muntz, a renowned explorer. The reporter highlights Muntz's numerous achievements before revealing that scientists have accused him of fabricating his latest discovery, the skeleton of a massive bird. Determined to prove them wrong, Muntz boards his zeppelin, the spirit of adventure, with his team of dogs, vowing to return with a live specimen. Inspired, Carl rushes down the street with his balloon named after Muntz's zeppelin. Passing a dilapidated house, he hears someone shout Muntz's slogan, "Adventure is out there." Carl investigates and meets Ellie, an outgoing tomboy who shares his love for exploration and admiration for Muntz. Startled by her loud and boisterous nature, Carl accidentally loses his balloon in the rafters. Ellie helps him retrieve it, but Carl falls and breaks his arm. That night, Ellie sneaks into Carl's room and shows him her adventure book, expressing her dream of moving to Paradise Falls in South America, illustrated with a picture she ripped right out of a library book. She makes Carl promise to accompany her there one day before leaving. A musical montage follows, showing Carl and Ellie marrying and moving into the old house where they first met. Their life is blissful. Carl becomes a balloon salesman, Ellie a zookeeper. When they discover they cannot have children, they shift their focus to saving for a trip to Paradise Falls. However, financial setbacks repeatedly drain their travel fund. One day, Carl surprises Ellie with tickets to South America, but Ellie falls ill and passes away, leaving Carl heartbroken and alone. Now elderly and reclusive, Carl lives in their home as the city grows around him. Pressured to move to a retirement home due to increasing construction, Carl refuses, often arguing with the foreman. One day, Carl meets Russell, a young wilderness explorer scout seeking to earn his "assisting the elderly" badge. Carl tricks Russell into searching for a fictional snipe in his yard when a construction worker damages Carl's mailbox. A cherished memento of Ellie, Carl loses his temper and strikes him with his walker, leading to a court order requiring Carl to move out. The next morning, as retirement home workers arrive to escort him away, Carl shocks everyone by releasing millions of helium balloons, lifting his house into the sky. Finally escaping the city, Carl sets a course for South America. As he relaxes, he hears a knock at the door and discovers Russell clinging to the porch. After letting him in, Carl plans to return Russell home but is caught in a storm. The turbulence jostles the house, but Carl secures his belongings before falling asleep. The next morning, Russell informs him they are over South America, though they accidentally lose the GPS device that confirms their location. The house lands on a high plateau near Paradise Falls, and Carl and Russell resolve to walk the house to the falls before the balloons lose their helium. Meanwhile, 3 dogs with red-lighted collars chase a giant bird through the jungle but lose the trail when they hear Carl's hearing aid. Russell discovers the bird and lures it closer with a chocolate bar. Naming the colorful creature Kevin, Russell bonds with it and Kevin follows them. They soon encounter Doug, a golden retriever with a collar that allows him to speak. Doug reveals he is hunting Kevin, which leads to comedic tension between the group. As they journey on, Kevin calls to her babies, revealing that she is a mother. The dogs chasing Kevin eventually track Carl and Russell. Their leader, Alpha, communicates via a damaged collar that distorts his voice into a high pitch. The dogs bring Carl and Russell to their master, who is revealed to be an elderly Charles Muntz. Muntz invites them aboard the Spirit of Adventure, but his hospitality turns sinister when he learns Russell has befriended Kevin. Muntz, obsessed with capturing the bird to clear his name, accuses Carl and Russell of conspiring against him. He reveals trophies from past explorers who attempted to claim the bird and threatens them. Carl and Russell escape with Kevin and Doug but are pursued by Muntz and his dogs. Kevin is injured during their escape, and just as Carl agrees to help her return to her chicks, Muntz captures her. Carl prioritizes saving his house, which Muntz sets on fire and abandons Kevin. Disheartened, Russell loses respect for Carl. After landing his house at the falls, Carl reflects on Ellie's adventure book. He discovers she added pictures of their life together and a note encouraging him to find a new adventure. Inspired, Carl empties his house to make it lighter and sets off to rescue Russell and Kevin. Russell sneaks aboard Muntz's zeppelin but is captured. Carl, aided by Doug, frees Kevin while distracting the guard dogs. Doug bests Alpha and becomes the new pack leader. Muntz confronts Carl on the zeppelin's roof, but Carl lures Kevin and the others to safety. In a final confrontation, Muntz becomes entangled in balloon strings and falls to his death. Carl sacrifices his house, letting it drift away, and accepts the loss as a necessary step forward. Kevin reunites with her chicks and Carl takes Russell and Doug home. At Russell's explorer ceremony, Carl steps in for Russell's absent father, awarding him a grape soda badge Ellie gave Carl years ago. The two bond, with Carl becoming a surrogate grandfather. Meanwhile, at Paradise Falls, Carl and Ellie's house finally rests atop the cliff where they had always dreamed it would be. Please subscribe to our channel as it motivates us to bring you more exciting movie recaps of films you may have missed. Your support helps us keep exploring and sharing these amazing stories with you.